Hello everyone and welcome to today's show. Hey good looking, what's cooking with R.A. Matt. Tonight we are going to make a delicious sausage and peppers over some wonderful rigatoni. Little quick simple dish but delicious nonetheless. Come follow me, let's take a closer look at all our ingredients. Let's go. So just taking a quick look at this table, you can see there's really not that many ingredients compared to other dishes that we've been making here on this show. So let's just start off with, the main ingredient, of course, in sausage and peppers, the peppers. Some beautiful, just simple green bell peppers, as well as some red roasted peppers. They'll add a nice flavor to it. If you want to throw in a couple of olives, that's what I might do as well. It kind of just blended together. We have, of course, our rigatoni pasta. I think that one might be the nicest and easiest to cook with when it comes to the peppers in this case. Obviously, you can use any kind. We then have our traditional and favorite spices, our parsley, crushed red pepper, our black pepper grinder, and our garlic powder. Those four are going to make this thing pop. We then have, of course, our canola oil. You can use vegetable oil, any really kind. And then we have, of course, the sausage. Now, for here, there's 5 of them, and so it's a mixture of both sweet Italian and hot sausage, as you can kind of see. Probably, I think what we're going to use in terms of the recipe, you might just need like 3 sausages. So what I'll probably do is 2 sweet and 1 sausage. That way I have more of a sweeter blend. And then when I ever cook it another time, then you just have like a more even sweet and hot sausage mix. But it's gonna be really good with these. In terms of our culinary utensils, right? We have our pots, our strainer, our 2 pans. We're gonna use the bigger one for all the peppers, as it takes a lot of time for it to cook, and then the smaller one for our sausage. And then over here, just a knife, spoon, spatula, the can opener, and then just a small little cutting board. So this dish is gonna be fantastic. I can't wait. Even, this just goes to show that you don't really need a lot to make really good food. But let's head in that kitchen, let's start up some boiling water, and let's get cooking. So this is very important to understand. The best part when you're cooking anything with sausage and peppers, the peppers really need to be cooked. And so, before you even start to even think about the sausage, you need to cook these peppers first. So, and I'll show you what they're supposed to look like, but I want to show you how to cut these properly in terms of what exactly we're going to use. So, best way to simply cut the pepper is just by first holding it off to the side. The top's right here. You're gonna hold it off to the side and very closely just do a nice cut down on the bottom. So as you can see from mine, you still have like the main pit. So you're just gonna completely take that out, right, off to the side. And then sometimes there might be some seeds stuck in the middle, so you just kind of tap it out using your other handles, clapping it out, and then you'll just have this, right? You're gonna have these tops here, still keep them, but like the main, the top part, we don't need anymore. So when you have our pepper like this, right, first thing you're gonna do, carefully cut it in half, right? Then you're gonna do it again. Now you have 4. So as you can see, we're gonna kind of cut it long ways and make nice, decent sized cuts. What happens is when it comes to peppers is when they cook, they shrink a lot. So like this one, as thin as this is, and it looks great, especially when you're eating it raw. When it's cooked, you sometimes want to make it a little thicker, almost like this one. So look, I'll show you. So this one, I think is a little too thin. This one I think is too thick. And like Goldilocks, I think the middle one is just right. Just to kind of show you. Of course, I'm still gonna throw them in regardless. It's not like it's ruined. It's just to show you 3 different cut styles. So I think the middle one might be the best. The middle one and the bigger one will be best. This will still be fine. It'll just be a lot smaller. So then, just finish cutting the entire pepper, right? We would cut all those. When you get to the tops, what I like to do is see how there's already like a little divot right here and here. I just simply cut them as is, right? And I just throw them in like that. Perfect. And then we're just gonna do that for all 4 of them. So Alrighty, so as you guys can see, I already have a pot of water already starting to boil, right? It's on like a high, right? A high 10. Over here, I have for the peppers, I put it in a bigger pan, right? You can see it's smoking a lot. That's just because whoever cooked before did not clean underneath, right? So we're gonna make sure that that's all wafted out appropriately. We're gonna turn that fan on high, right? And really make sure this happens a lot. This is why it's crucial to make sure when you cook something, right, you really do clean it, okay? Now, I put this in a bigger pan as before when I was cutting it because I forgot this is the bigger one. Even though the peppers will shrink drastically, that way I have more of like a mixing. I'm able to mix more, right? So again, we're just gonna add some of the oil in it. Alrighty, it looked like a lot. When you're cooking with peppers, they need to be fully drained in oil, more or less. Obviously, you don't really want super oily peppers because especially when you're eating it, it's not gonna, it's not good to eat oil with your peppers, right? So again, though, you're just gonna keep constantly mixing it. It's on a medium, it's on a high medium. I'll probably just turn it just to a regular medium and keep slowly stirring it. Once, basically, the peppers start to lose that vibrant green and start to go into more of like a darker brownish green, right? That's how you know they're more cooked. And then slowly but surely, or once they're kind of halfway, we'll then add the sausage to the other pan. All right, so just to give everyone a quick little update, I turned off the water because I realized it was already starting to bubble when this wasn't ready yet. The sausage is not on yet. However, what I did, I took some of the oil, right, that was coming from all the peppers, and I just used it and kind of just lightly coat the sausage. There's still a whole bunch here. That way you don't have to put extra oil. Believe me, everything's already oily enough. I added the roasted red peppers in now. That way they could cook already in them. And as you can see, right, there's just a pool of oil, right? Not really the most pleasant thing to see. So what you could do, well, what you should do is bring the pan closer to the sink, right? And just slowly just take some of the oil out. I'm just gonna show you kind of, how to take out oil. There you go, right? And just do a little bit, that way it's not completely drenched in. Obviously that is kind of what you want to start off with at the end, but again, oil almost kind of just, multiplies and just grows by itself. So again, I'll give another update once it starts browning again, and you'll see that I've drained a little bit more oil. And then I'll probably, once this is more browning, I'll then finally turn on the peppers, the sausage, I mean. Alrighty, so as you guys can see, I drained out a little bit of oil. It almost looks unnoticed how much oil I drained, but I did. So as you can see how this pepper is a lot brighter than that one, right? This one is a lot more cooked than the other one. So we want all of them to look like the one on the left. And so you're just gonna keep constantly stirring it, right? Even with the red roast and peppers, they're getting darker as well, being covered and cooked in the oil. You kind of want to make sure that all the peppers get as dark green as all of them, right? As kind of like this one, right? You want all of them kind of look like that. If they all don't become as dark green, you might just get more of like a crunch to your dish, which is nothing wrong with that per se. So as that's almost done cooking, actually, I'm now going to turn up the sausage in the back, right? Like on a medium. What you're going to do to that sausage is constantly just keep, moving it around, making sure it doesn't get stuck to the pan. If anything, I might actually switch positions, put the sausage in the front and the peppers in the back, right? That way that we could also season our peppers with all the spices like the black pepper, the red crushed pepper, the parsley, and the garlic. Alrighty, so as you guys can see, I have switched pans. Now the sausage is right in the front of me, the peppers are in the back. I have returned on the hot water. That's where the loud noise is coming from underneath, right? So I already put the black pepper on here just because I can't really grate it with, one hand hovering it. Or then I'm just gonna put some of the parsley on top. So now hear how it's getting a lot louder? That's from both the oil. So what you really need to do is make sure that you do not put oil on a high flame or a high heat whatsoever, because then it can get very bubbly, right? And the oil might kind of pop everywhere, which you want to make sure you are very careful of, because hot oil is not good for the human skin. Who would have thought, right? Okay, so as you can see, I like over season on that side, right? That way then when I just slowly start flipping them over, they'll be cooked all around. There you go, see, perfect. And then look at that, see how these are getting a lot darker now? This is almost ready. Which will be nice. If anything, I'm probably just gonna drain out the oil. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a little bit of the oil, put a little bit more in here. Yeah, see, there we go. That way, again, like I said, nothing's sticking and everything's all good. Perfect. Okay, once that water starts bubbling again, as you can see, it's already starting to, I'm gonna drain more of the oil out, then the peppers will be done. The sausage will also be done soon. I'll strain the pasta, you know, another progress report coming up soon. Alright. I turned off the heat on the peppers as they were practically done, and even keeping them on the hot area, they're still gonna kind of cook off. Just put the pasta in. I'm gonna give it that quick little whisk. And as you can see, I turned the sausage over. See how it has that nice brown coating? That's how you know that that side is more or less done, right? Even if I shake this, right? Like you just hear that crackling. This is gonna be great. As you can see, like over here, it's still a very bright, right? So I know it's not fully cooked yet, but it's really getting there, which is really good. I'm gonna do this nice stir. There we go. And even in the back over there, that's pretty much done. We're just gonna let that sit there though. Yeah. So I just cut off the sausage just using the spoon, right, down here, and just literally just stabbing it and then just tearing it apart. I did that now because if I did it when it was raw, it would have been way too like slimy and hard to cut. But now that it was already cooked when it was a full, you know, full piece, right, it's now easier to cook. So you can see it's really starting to brown, and practically all the pieces are already cooked, if not, you know, nearly there. So I'm even gonna turn this off now, right? And now we're just pretty much just waiting for the pasta to boil fully, and then we'll finally mix it all together, as well as adding our black olives. Now it's time for the best part, the plating. So we just drained out our rigatoni pasta. Put a couple scoops on top, right? Perfect. You could see we've just taken out, you can already see that beautiful steam coming out. Take some of your peppers. Lightly strained as I did. I threw the sausage already in here. The last one, just to place it on top. Look at that. A couple of big thick pieces of the sausage. Peppers. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful and delicious. And then, of course, I don't have to, a couple of sliced black olives. Look at that. All that's missing, right, is some grated Parmesan cheese on top. Just that light white sprinkle is all you need to bring this beautiful dish out. Super cheap, super easy, and most importantly, super delicious. Thanks for watching, everybody.